Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. Okay, the time has come. Quite exciting this, that's why I'm standing up. I'm going to be showing in this video movies that I picked up from the Indicator Sale that was last month. Now this is quite a new thing for me. I've not taken part in the Indicator Sale before. I'm in Canada. We don't get the sort of Criterion, Barnes and Noble sales or things like that in Canada. Anytime we do get sales, they're still not hugely price competitive. So anyone that's familiar with my channel, you'll have seen me show lots of haul videos before, but most of those videos and DVDs are all from thrift stores, and so even a big pile of movies may only have cost me 20 bucks, say. So this is a little bit different because with the Indicator Sale you had to spend £200 to be able to get free shipping, so yeah, that's what I did. But I must say, with Indicator, their sale prices were very good, and yeah, although the shipping is a little bit confusing because, like I say, you have to spend the £200, it actually means you can put a little bit more in your order, it seems, than I initially thought. And I think that's probably a tax thing, because when the movies arrived I did have to pay some customs and tax charges, but still, like I say, it still works out a lot better deal than if I was trying to get the movies in Canada. So my previous video, like I say, that showed you movies that I already have in my collection, so I wasn't going to sort of double dip on those. But now let me get on and show you what I got. 87 titles. Some of those are included in box sets. Here we go. Please do take a seat, sit back, make a coffee first or something. Use that pause button. Please don't use the fast forward, but let's go. Okay, first up we have Night of the Demon. This is a Jacques Tourneur film, very classic movie, and this has all three cuts on here. I will show you briefly just the backs of these with all the incredible amount of special features that you get. So you might want to pause that, or certainly, like I say, loads of people do new release videos, so you can always check out other people's videos or check out powerhousefilms.co.uk and look at everything they have on there. So yeah, Jacques Tourneur, famous for doing Cat People, and Night of the Demon also co-stars Peggy Cummins, and a lot of people are getting interested lately in Gun Crazy, in which she has a fantastic role in that. So, Night of the Demon. Next, Fritz Lang's Ministry of Fear with Ray Milland and a cake. Yeah, this is a good one. So next up is The Revenge of Frankenstein, directed by Terence Fisher. And now, when it comes to Hammer movies, I actually have most of the Hammer movies in my collection on DVD. Some of them are fan-made movies. So here actually is the DVD that I have of Revenge of Frankenstein. So this is a rare event of me actually doing a bit of double dipping, if you like. I mean, this is a 4K release, and so I was particularly interested actually to get this because when I was watching my DVD copy of this, I really love the beginning scenes that are in the laboratory, and how colourful that is, and I just think that that will absolutely pop on 4K. So this is a rare event of me sort of double dipping, if you like, but yeah, I look forward to seeing this one. Next is this one, Spring Night, Summer Night, an independent movie from 1967, and this is being promoted by Nicholas Winding Refn. Next up, it's Maniac. So this is another Hammer movie directed by Michael Carreras and written by Jimmy Sangster. So I only had a fan-made DVD of this, so yeah, very happy to have this one. Next up, this is a wonderful movie from Ernst Lubitsch from 1932, Broken Lullaby. Next, it's a British movie from 1948 that had a bit of trouble with the censors. I haven't seen it. I look forward to. This is No Orchids for Miss Blandish. And at this point, I'll just point out this is a limited edition from Indicator. So the limited editions have this full-length cover art, and they also contain booklets inside. So the standard editions like Maniac, as you can see, the cover art doesn't go to the top and they don't have booklets inside them. But whether it's a standard edition or a limited edition, you get the special features on them. Next up, it's a Mexican movie, The Phantom of the Monastery. I haven't seen this. Now, Indicator do release a really fantastic Mexican box set called Mexico Macabre. And now I don't have that set, but I have seen The Witch's Mirror, which is part of that set. And that is a fantastic Mexican film. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing what this one is like. Next, we're back to Hammer again, and this is The Gorgon, directed by Terence Fisher. So this is another one that I didn't have a very good DVD copy of, so glad to have this. And next we're going with some H.G. Wells and a bit of help from Ray Harryhausen and the effects here. This is First Men in the Moon. And then yes, I'm returning to Hammer again for this one, The Two Faces of Dr. Jekyll, as well as Peter Cushing in Cash on Demand. This is a really good film. Next is a Czech film from 1965. It's 90 Degrees in the Shade, directed by Jiří Weiss. And next from the Bolting Brothers. This is a film from 1940, and it's Pastor Hall. And next from 1980, directed by Matthew Chapman, and with Helen Mirren here, we have Hussey. So next from Samuel Fuller, these are his script writing films. So we have It Happened in Hollywood, Adventure in Sahara, and Power of the Press. And in Volume 2 here we have Shockproof and Scandal Sheet. And Shockproof is directed by Douglas Sirk and stars Cornel Wilde. Next, a really good military drama from director Norman Jewison. This is from 1984, A Soldier's Story. Next, there's been a lot of attention over the last sort of year or so, I guess, on the renown westerns. Those westerns that directed by Bud Boetticher and starring Randolph Scott. So Indicator brought out a great box set of those a few years back, so that's sold out, but I did get the standard editions. So we have The Tall Tea, we have Decision at Sundown, Buchanan Rides Alone, Ride Lonesome, and Comanche Station. Next, from 1968, a shocker here that I haven't seen. It's called Corruption, starring Peter Cushing. And then from 1971, with Gene Hackman, Chris Christopherson, and Karen Black, Cisco Pike. Next, Australian film from 1976, with Dennis Hopper and David Gulpilil. This is Mad Dog Morgan. Now back to Hammer again, and I really love this movie. It's The Snorkel, and I have here, this is the fan-made DVD I have, which the picture quality is not so great, so it's nice to actually upgrade it. But yeah, just a nice little fan-made copy here, so I'll keep this for sure. Next, the only film that he directed, and he also stars in it, this is Albert Finney in Charlie Bubbles. Next we have Joan Crawford in Berserk from 1967. This one doesn't have the greatest of reputations, I suppose, but actually I got this less so for Joan Crawford and more because of its co-stars, which include Judy Geeson and Diana Dawes. So yeah, interesting to see it for both of them. Next, from director Max Ophuls from 1949 and starring James Mason, The Reckless Moment. Next, another presentation from Nicholas Winding Refn, and this is Night Tide with Dennis Hopper. And next, from 1964, and directed by Jack Clayton, this is The Pumpkin Eater with Anne Bancroft and James Mason. And next, from 1971, a chiller with Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee, I, Monster. Haven't seen this one, let me know what you think. From 1957, I've got The Garment Jungle here with Lee J. Cobb and Cohen Matthews. Now next, from 1970, this could be an interesting one. I know it doesn't have a great reputation, but this is Take a Girl Like You with the wonderful Hayley Mills and the great Oliver Reed as well. So directed by Jonathan Miller, 1970. And from 1995, director Carl Franklin, nice bit of colour noir here, Devil in a Blue Dress with Denzel Washington. And wonderful cover this. This is from 1934, directed by Howard Hawks. We've got John Barrymore and Carol Lombard in 20th Century. And next, from 1976, I remember seeing this one when I was quite young, the Bingo Long Travelling All-Stars and Motor Kings. So yeah, Billy D. Williams, Richard Pryor, James Earl Jones in this, and directed by John Badham, who also did War Games. And next, from 1955, with Stuart Granger and Gene Simmons, this is Footsteps in the Fog. And then from 1965, we've got Warren Beatty here in Arthur Penn's Mickey 1. And next, from 1970, David Hemmings and Gail Honeycutt in Fragment of Fear. Then from 1983, not my favourite John Carpenter, but I still want to rewatch it. It's been quite a while. This is Christine. And next from 1973, I passed on getting Jack Nicholson in The Border, but I did pick up this one, The Last Detail. This is a Hal Ashby movie. And then based on the early life of Winston Churchill, this is Young Winston, directed by Richard Attenborough and with Simon Ward and Robert Shaw. Next from 1971 with Mia Farrow and directed by Richard Fleischer, who got See No Evil. And I was particularly interested in this one. It's written by Brian Clements, doing a bit of a chiller here. And I really like Brian Clements as a writer because he did this movie, which I've got on Kino Lorber, and Soon the Darkness, which he co-wrote with Terry Nation. I really love this movie. So yeah, interesting to see what See No Evil is like. Next, we're back to a little bit of Ray Harryhausen, just a small amount, in The Three Worlds of Gulliver. And then from 1971 again, I seem to have picked up a lot of movies from 1971. But yeah, this is directed by Stephen Frears, and it's Albert Finney again in Gumshoe. And then next, we have Charles Bronson here in The Stone Killer, and this is directed by Michael Winner. Now, this is not the best Michael Winner movie that's in the Indicator collection, because that movie is The System, which I thoroughly recommend. This is the Kino Lorber edition, but Indicator do have The System in their collection as well, and I absolutely love that movie. So I'm plugging it again, The System. But yeah, nonetheless, Charles Bronson here and The Stone Killer. They did have a couple of other Charles Bronson films, such as Breakout, but I didn't choose that, just got this one. Next, and let's go for some noir. Now, I forgot to mention actually in my last video that I do have some Columbia Noir classics already. So I have this DVD here, which has got some great ones on it. Just let you look at that. Those are the titles. But yeah, this is a really good set. So I didn't duplicate any of these. However, I did get Mickey Rooney here in Drive a Crooked Road, Glenn Ford in Framed, and I think Imprint put this out as well. From 1950, we've got 7-Eleven Ocean Drive. And then Broderick Crawford in The Mob, directed by Robert Parrish. Glenn Ford again, and this time with Rita Hayworth in Affair in Trinidad. Next up, saw this years ago, but I really don't remember it. This is The Virgin Soldiers, British movie. It's got Huel Bennett in it, and Lynn Redgrave, Nigel Davenport, Nigel Patrick. And then we've got Orphans here, which is both directed by and starring Peter Mullen, along with Douglas Henschel. Back to Sam Fuller, and this is one he directed. This is Underworld, USA. Now next we've got The Camp on Blood Island. Now I already have Yesterday's Enemy in my collection, but yeah, I really wanted to add this one. I think this is a really excellent film. Next, from director Joseph L. Mankiewicz, and we've got Elizabeth Taylor, Katharine Hepburn, Montgomery Clift, Suddenly Last Summer. And then from Antonioni, we've got The Passenger with Jack Nicholson and Maria Schneider. And then from director Joseph Losey, reuniting with Elizabeth Taylor after making Boom. This is A Secret Ceremony. And then, hey, we're back at 1971 again, and this is The Last Movie, which is written, directed by, and starring Dennis Hopper. And then an all-star cast in this one, which is The Wrong Box. A lot of great British names here, and this is directed by Brian Forbes, a director that I'm particularly interested in, who's done some wonderful films that I really love, including Whistle Down the Wind and The Whisperers. And then we've got Warren Beatty and Gene Seberg in Lilith. Okay, so those were the standard editions and a few limited editions there with booklets. But now we're on to more of the hard case sets. And first up, we've got this one, which is Creatures the World Forgot. Now, admittedly, this is not one of the greatest movies, but who cannot be captivated by the packaging here? This really is a wonderful set. Again, you've got a hugely thick booklet here, as well as a whole load of art cards inside, and a huge amount of extras, as with all of these Indicator sets. But yeah, this is quite magnificent. Now, I know loads of people are used to getting sets like this, but this kind of thing, I have very few of these in my collection. So yeah, I really admire the quality of this. Fantastic stuff. Next up, we've got two here from Hammer, which is a Sword of Sherwood Forest and a challenge for Robin Hood. Again, a really nice set with a big booklet and a poster as well, I think. And this also includes a Children's Film Foundation film called Robin Hood Jr. So if you're old like me and British, then you will remember Keith Chegwin, who used to do shows such as Cheggers Plays Pop. But yeah, he starred in this children's film, Young Robin Hood. Yeah, I remember seeing that when I was a kid. So yeah, it would be quite amusing to watch that again. Next, it's about time I had a Western. So here is The Big Gundown. Really wonderful looking set here. Directed by Sergio Solima. We've got Lee Van Cleef there. And again, a really great booklet inside and a poster. And this one co-stars Thomas Milian. And he reprised the character later on in this one also for Sergio Solima, which is Run Man Run. And next, written by Preston Sturgis and starring Fred McMurray and Barbara Stanwyck. This lovely set here, Remember the Night. Really fine quality, these sets. They're absolutely amazing. And then this is one that's really intrigued me. I don't know these films, but yeah, the Pemini Organisation. So 3 independent British label movies that came out in the 70s. So yeah, one of the stars of these is Ian Hendry, and I showed a picture of him in my previous video on Janet Munro because he was married to Janet Munro. But yeah, I'm really intrigued by this set and very much looking forward to seeing it. Okay, and now we're on to the bigger sets. We're getting there. So first up is this one from Hammer. This is their box set number 5. So I don't have the other box sets, but I do have those movies. But yeah, this one is a good one for me to get because I didn't actually have these movies on very good quality DVDs. So I will just briefly show you. Again, great packaging here. So we have Visa to Canton. And just to compare, there's my fan-made DVD, which is Passport to China. There's The Brigand of Kandahar. And just for comparison, there's my fan-made DVD. And then we have The Scarlet Blade with Lionel Jeffries and Oliver Reed. And then finally, Christopher Lee in an eye patch in The Pirates of Blood River. Okay, another box set, and this is Universal Noir #1. Now, I really like these sets. These come in sort of paper editions, so I'll just show you that. I'll just show you that, and actually, just for comparison, look, there's the Hammer set. So width-wise, the Hammer one is a little bit wider. You've got 4 movies. This is a little bit thinner, 6 movies and a booklet. But the texture on these is really good, and it's really nice little paper covers, really nice artwork, Naked Alibi. You get a different poster inside as well. Deported. Abandoned. Burt Lancaster and Joan Fontaine, Kiss the Blood Off My Hands. Larceny. Aren't these wonderful? The Web, just great artwork. And like I say, this huge, thick and wonderful booklet. And then finally, in a similar vein, we've got this box set here, which is noir films with Humphrey Bogart. So again, another 6 movie set. Fantastic. And then once again, the movies inside, Dead Reckoning with Elizabeth Scott. This is a good one. Knock on Any Door. Tokyo Joe. Sirocco. The Family Secret. And this is an interesting one because I don't believe Bogart actually stars in this one. I think he acts as a producer on this only. This one stars John Derrick, who went on to film his wife cavorting around with orangutans in Tarzan the Ape Man. And this, really love this one actually, The Harder They Fall. And then once again, a fantastic looking booklet here. Really thick. incredible quality. Okay, I'm going to try and edit this together now. This is probably going to be a very long video. I may have to redo this, who knows. But thank you very much for watching. Obviously, I ran through things very quickly there, but I will be talking about these movies again. I know this was a big haul, a lot to look at there, but let me know your comments, let me know your thoughts, and I will hopefully see you again. Please do stick with me for some more videos. All the best to you. Bye-bye.